Welcome to part 5 of Garage Talk, in which I'll be discussing the toolkit I keep in my truck. Here you can see the toolbox opened up. In the top I've got some tire tools. So I've got a couple of Motion Pro tire levers. I really like these ones. They have a small hook and it allows you to work on the tires without pinching the tube or tubeless system. And then a spoon tire lever, and then a couple of bead buddies. And this tool is supplied with tubeless and allows you to insert the rim easily into the tire. And then I've got a open-ended wrench set. This one's made by Beta, and it's a really nice set. Nice and thin, very strong. I've had these for a long time, probably 15 years or so. And it goes from 6mm up to 22mm. And then I've got a hammer. This one's like a nylon head, which is good for hitting softer materials. I don't often use the hammer, but it is sometimes handy. And then I've got a 1/2-inch breaker bar, which again I don't often use, but sometimes useful. And then also in the top I've got some spare levers. These are the original levers that were supplied on my bike, made by Brembo, so clutch and brake lever, just in case I break mine. And then the first drawer down rather, I've got 3/8 socket set, both regular size and long ones. And then I've got 3/8 ratchet drive and a couple of screwdrivers, plus and minus, and a small plus one. And then I've got wire cutters and pliers, and these ones are adjustable, which are useful as well, and they can grip various shapes. So a majority of these tools are made by KTC. And then in the bottom I've got a 1/4-inch set made by KTM. And this is actually a really handy set to have because it's nice and compact and contains various sockets, but also torque sockets and extensions. So that's really nice set. It's not too expensive, so it's probably worthwhile getting just to have in your truck. And then I've got various measuring devices. So I've got some calipers and a steel rule. Cutter knife. Got some thread lock 243, which is really handy. A marker pen, safety wire, some insulation tape, and various tie wraps. And then I've got some files: a round file, a flat file with a curved surface on as well. And then in this tray, I've got an adjustable wrench, 27 sockets, some Allen keys, so a set of those, full set. And then this is really handy, having various bolts and nuts, and I've also got some fuses in there. So I highly recommend you pick out various fasteners that are suitable for your bike. And I've got a valve tool and an extension for the 3/8 drive, and a couple of adapters so I can use the breaker bar, for example, on 3/8 drive if I need to, or this one converts from 3/8 to 1/4 drive. And then spark plug, spare spark plug. So that's all the tools I have in the toolbox, and in addition to those I have some torque wrenches which I keep in the truck. These are both made by Tonichi, and I keep them in this case to protect them. So the smaller one is a 3/8 drive, and it goes from 5 Nm up to 25 Nm. So this is really handy for torquing the forks, which is one of the main reasons I actually carry a torque wrench in the truck. And a larger one goes from 30 up to 140 and has a 1/2-inch drive. So I can do all the big fasteners, including the rear axle, with this one. And then I also have the tools I keep in my backpack. So I made a separate video about this, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, but you can see I have a pretty good assortment of tools in there too. So that's it for part 5 of Garage Talk. In part 6 I'll be discussing the information contained in the operator's manual and the service manual.